Guys, I don't know. As West Virginia fans, we've come to expect this a little bit, but it still hurts. Like, I think I predicted a loss, but my God, 45-20. Are you kidding me right now? What do you do? Where do you go from here? How do you climb your way out of it? I mean, you can't climb your way out of your hole this season, but if you're Neal Brown, we focus on him a lot lately. How do you climb out of your hole?
I don't know, it's becoming an interesting problem what we got here. I think I saw something interesting. I think we've gone from trust the climb to stop the fall.
I don't think you can stop the fall. That's the problem.
I mean, I'm seeing a lot of division amongst the fans. On Neal Brown, he needs to stay longer. It's the team, or he needs to go. Neal Brown doesn't fit. I'm back and forth a little bit.
Me too.
One day I say, yeah, give him time. He's got a good recruiting class. He was left with absolutely nothing when Holgerson left. And then on the other hand, I look at the team, and when you look at the team right now, 3 years into it, he's had recruits come in. What do you see as the bright spot of this team for the future? Like, do you see a piece that you can build around on the future right now on this team that's going to be, the key piece going forward, or something that gives you any hope at the end of the tunnel? Or do you think you're literally every positive note I see for West Virginia is wait for the recruiting class next year? So are we going to start the clock year 4 with that recruiting class? So you're talking at least 2-3 years before these guys are, big time stars. So then you're 7 years into it, 6 years into it. I don't know. You're giving this guy rope, but.
And I saw someone post too on Twitter. I think West Virginia's past 5 coaches, their records in the same amount of time as Neal Brown. All of them have winning records. The only one that didn't was Rodriguez, had the same exact record of Neal Brown. But someone also pointed out he also improved each year. So he pointed out the team was really bad when he got there, and he was improving and went on to have some great seasons.
And that's a big thing right there, is the improvement.
Yeah, and we thought we were going to see that this year, but so far it looks worse than it has the previous 2 seasons.
Exactly. I agree with that.
I have a little rant too, because one thing I've pointed out was I like Neal Brown. I've questioned his coaching, but I like what he's doing behind the scenes. I like his program building. Well, I've heard and seen some concerning things the past 2 weeks. First off, in his press conference after the Texas Tech game, he came out and it sounded like he's blaming the players. He's saying, you guys aren't prepared. They weren't prepared. Everyone's not prepared. That's what he was saying. He was cussing. It sounded like he was putting a lot of the blame on the players. They came out this week, and obviously they weren't prepared again. It's the coach's job. Someone correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, or Harry, you can too. I'm under the impression if your whole team's not prepared, that seems like a coaching issue. We're not talking about your quarterback coming unprepared, or maybe your defense. We're talking about your entire team 2 games in a row plus coming out unprepared. That's a coaching issue.
I agree.
And first off, I don't like any coach that tries to throw your team under the bus publicly. You always take the blame. If you want to go in the locker room and blame everyone else, you do that. But in public, you're the captain of the ship. You can't go point the finger at everyone in public. So that's bad. Another interesting thing in the press conference, he said something because people were questioning his timeouts. And he said something about traditionally we use our timeouts defensively. Someone went and looked at his tenure. I think like 70% of his timeouts are used on offense in the first half or first quarter. So no, traditionally he doesn't. And he did it again this week. The opening drive of the game, first drive, he used a timeout on the first play. Again, and to speak on behind the scenes, Dreamus Smith, former West Virginia player, former NFL player, He posted on Facebook, now former West Virginia player, NFL player. He's a big guy, wide receiver, big West Virginia player, right? Dreamer Smith is one of the biggest ones. When you look at, I can't think of the word I want to think of. Anyways, he posted on Twitter, Neal Brown's got to go. Someone commented on it about he likes bringing back old players, alumni, stuff like that. Dreamer said a bunch of them came back for homecoming and they couldn't even get a shirt to wear on the sideline. They said they got to go buy a shirt. A lot of stuff going on in the building. So my respect for Neal Brown was behind the scenes, but it seems like it's chaos there too.
Yeah.
So that's what you had. You had recruiting and you had building a program, but it doesn't look like the culture you're building is any good. So what do you got now?
No, we're in shambles.
What do you got? And now to the field. Caden Prather, big recruit for West Virginia last year. 4-star recruit, 91 overall rated on 24/7 Sports. He had offers from Alabama. He had offers from Penn State. He's big time wide receiver, and he chose to come to West Virginia. He's barely seen any snaps. He finally started over Winston Wright this week in the first half. He got like one touch. Like, what are you doing? If we're waiting for these 4-star recruits, these recruiting classes, why aren't they seeing any time? Especially in a season that's lost. Now you have to get your guys ready for next year, right? Am I crazy?
I've seen that too. You know, the season's lost. You need to prepare guys, but at the same time, I feel like that's not fair to some of the seniors. You know, that put in all the time and all the years that you're just going to throw away their last year.
No, you definitely still got to play, and you still should try to win every game. So it's not a throwaway. So you want to play your best players, but you got to work them in more.
Yeah, you got to try something different. You can't just go in with the same stuff and just get beat down because.
And on that note, I read another interesting thing. Garrett Green and Jared Dagey have the same amount of touchdowns this year. What? What?